and welcome to Women's Stories, a platform where women tell their stories and women-related topics are discussed from career, education, politics, fashion and style, health, and a host of other topics. I am Punaraman Benjamin. A woman is sent to her early grave by her partner. Another is maimed or incapacitated. Yet another is left with emotional scars that may never heal. It is a crisis that thrives in silence, a wound that festers behind closed doors. The truth is that domestic violence is far more than a simple fight or a disagreement. It is a calculated, systematic pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Nigerian women aged 15 to 49 has experienced physical violence. For every survivor who speaks out, countless others suffer in silence, trapped by fear, shame, cultural stigma, or difficult to get justice. The question is, why do women fear to speak out? Why is it difficult to get justice? How do we watch after or support women in such situation? Today, we would like to take a closer look at this effect and the effort that should be made to help survivors. I'm now being joined by Jamila Sidi Sarajo, a victim of domestic violence, who would like to share her story. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's nice having you around.
I'm honored.
Okay, so I would like you to share a bit of your story with us on domestic violence, how you've been able to survive as a domestic violence victim.
I can't ever say that we survive, but we live for the moment. And because we are not in a system that helps us to even survive. I think by nature, I think by personalities, I don't know. Till date, if you ask me how I survived, I don't know. All I know, something inside of me just wouldn't give up. When I look at my kids, and I knew society would definitely stigmatize me. It had already. There was a lot of smear campaign, social media, The smear campaign was much enough that nobody would. And coming out on social media, people weren't seeing the fear, trauma coming out of me. All you were seeing was what this smear campaign was trying to tell them.
So tell us your experience, the things that you encountered as a victim. That's when you were with your partner.
From the first lap, I wanted to end the marriage. But then I never told anyone at home. Then it stopped. I told my in-law, she gave me, being a mother, I thought she would understand and she would be the one to guide me. And I listened. So I let it go. But you see, people should understand that abuse does not necessarily have to be physical.
Yeah.
Gradually as you're going, you begin to realize after you manage to escape or survive it, and you reflect back, you begin to realize that systematically you were being abused without even you understanding you were being abused. Because as I'll continue to say, even the devil was once an angel. When people don't understand, especially when you're dealing with narcissists, people kind of misunderstand narcissists and just men that are not all abusive partners. They don't. But with narcissism, it's like they choose the best of the best. Do you understand? And it's like they have that need for that light. You don't choose them; they choose you. And they have a way with you, they love bomb you in ways that you yourself will feel that you will never find any love like this.
I understand you're trying to explain how a narcissist get to win, get to win someone who is different from who he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so like when you were in the relationship, were they physical? Were they
They weren't
emotional?
physical at first, but then I was told not to put on makeup. I shouldn't put on heels, you know. And then there was this sudden need. It wasn't coming from him, but when mommy says I have to be putting on hijab, and that wasn't him. You know, for me, I thought it wasn't him, and then I had a child, and it's always once the money comes in, we used to like share. He was open about his finances, and then he changed. But I never noticed the changes gradually, and because he was always home, and ideally, I don't believe at that point I never believed I was being lied to or not being told the full truth, because this was someone that I could really, really trust with my life. You know, he was my best friend, you know, and we had a special kind of relationship. So even if we're upset with each other, there was no shouting or insults like couples do. It will take us 10, 20 minutes, and then we look at each other, and then we begin to laugh, and that's the end. We watch movies, we jump around. Even when we began to have kids, we're always jumping out. I kept a lot of memories, you know, and but he had these principles that never made sense. You know, you could feel it. It's like your energy. I was always, yes, you can't understand, and you were always working, but I wasn't adding. Each time I tried to do something, there will be this total shutdown. You can't do it, you can't. When I knew I could. So at times I cried a lot, especially when I was not allowed to express myself.
So at what point did he change from being that lovey-dovey guy to being an abusive person?
At the last stage, it got worse then.
That's after how many years in marriage?
Almost 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was blessed with 3 beautiful kids. And he just flipped. I can't say he flipped, but it has always been there, but I wasn't just there to see it, because I was always cooking, washing, doing this, that. I was constantly on the move doing this. And guess what? I realized that after I got married, I was only allowed to go visit my mom 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Out of 11 years.
Oh, they gave you a routine.
It wasn't a routine. I didn't understand, because I can't afford it. And for me, being the self-conscious one, since there wasn't any money when we married. Yes, there wasn't any money, despite the fact he came from a family that you understand, well known, but there wasn't any money. And I was proud of him for that, because he worked hard. And he wasn't the type that will go to daddy or mommy. No. That was one thing I loved. Yes, that was one thing I loved about. But I never knew that there was never room for you to even go there. Do you understand? For me, my interpretation was, I want to be a man. But I didn't understand that love or that was never there. So you see, what happened to us was more of like a generational thingy that followed us. And we could have done better, but I didn't understand at first. That is why I'm doing all my best to see that our children don't.
So what were the things that usually trigger him to start misbehaving?
I noticed he was temperamental.
Okay.
And he has rage, and when he has, like, how would I even say it? I kind of studied him without even knowing I was studying him. You know, because naturally I think I've always been gifted with the gift of I was visual. So it's my brain has a way of just absorbing things. Even in school, I don't read books, I just pass my exams. I was that kind of a student. And I noticed he had read, so I avoided the read. You know, he likes things in a particular way. And if it's left, he expects it to be that.
Yeah, like a very principled person.
Yeah, he was like that. But then I didn't understand until much, much later, because I went into marriage because, you know, when from the north, and as a Muslim, they will tell you to get to heaven, you have to obey through your husband. And when I remember how I will trek to the market, you know, how I will go and fetch water in a well, things I've never done.
Okay, but trekking to the market, is it that there's no vehicle to take?
He had a vehicle, but he would rather go and play football with his men friends than take me to the market.
Okay.
And for me, I gave him understanding because he told me how traumatic his childhood was. So I was just trying to heal someone that. Do you understand?
So you're trying to be that wife that understands the situation of her husband.
Yes.
And then you're trying so much not to make him angry or make things worse for him because of his childhood.
I wasn't scared of him being angry. Do you understand?
Okay.
But then anything that would not give me peace, I avoided it. I was naturally not scared of his temperament. I came from my own fathers who were temperamental. So I could handle his temperament, but it was never about violence or harsh words or insults.
So how did you feel the first time that he physically abused you? How did it happen?
I think I woke up in the morning. I wasn't far along in the marriage. I woke up in the morning and he had watched TV. I left him. I went to bed and I woke up and I think he was having a party or something in his team atlas. And he was like, I didn't switch off the light last night. And I was like, I left you here. Before I know it, I had pow.
On the face?
Yeah, on the face. That was the first time. As in, I was seeing stars. I think I fell down. I stood up. I was in a state of shock. What is going? And then he was in shock too. And he was trying to he didn't know. Do you know? I just walked away.
Like, I'm sorry.
I walked away, and I think I called his sister, and the sister called the mom, and the mom pleaded with me that he will never do it again, and he never did.
So after that time, were you ever abused physically again?
No, until much more later.
Okay.
Yeah, much more later. And despite the fact I was also accused of
being physical.
Yes, but I wasn't. And the highest I could do was defend myself. I think the first time I attempted to slap back, I broke this. Because naturally I've never been a physical person. Yes. So it has always been my face and the punches. And there was a time I took our daughter to the hospital. She had they had to put her on a nebulizer. She wasn't breathing. I needed to check her blood group and all the documentation. Her birth certificate were with her. I kept on calling. It was late in the night in what do you call it? This JB Federal Center.
Okay.
You know, after taking the queue, after it was raining, and he came. At that time, he had gotten married to his new wife.
Okay.
And all he said to me was, I should go carry my daughter and give the woman that I don't know. And I was like, what are you talking about? So he walked out on me, not asking me whether I paid the bills, But I did open his home, and it was the other woman. Whatever she tells him is as if sit down there. He'll tell her I was sick.
Okay.
Do this. So that's what I saw in his home.
Okay, so is it that narcissists always have other people that they can treat better? Do you think so?
No. She was more of, it was time to discard me.
Okay.
So she was...
so he was doing everything to please her. so that he makes her feel that you're no longer important in
Yeah,
his life.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, now back to the issue of abuse. I mean, physical abuse. You talked about how he has hit you once on the face.
And after then, he hit me like 4 times.
Okay. And then when that happens, what do you do?
The second time,
On the neck.
yeah, he just slaps, strangling. You know, the shock is you don't even know what to do at that point. But it was so painful because I knew if I had decided to fight back, the abuse would get worse. So I never fought back, and he walked away and left me there.
You know, because I know that in this part of the world, we don't have 911. We don't have the number. Well, I know police have lines, you can reach them. But I know we don't have that we don't get that swift reaction from the police. And most times, when it's domestic violence, they feel it's family affair, so they should stay out of it. But when it becomes something that is life threatening, I think that's when the police should come in and see how they can support or help. Have you been able to report this issue to the police?
When it got extremely, the last meeting, that was when my neighbor called the police, and that was another offense that I committed.
Yeah, because they feel family will say, "How can you take your husband to the police?"
No. They did not stop it. His
Oh,
mother,
really?
when I called his mother to say, I've lost a child, and because my story goes deeper, there are things that I can't discuss here because of my kids, but each time I think about those things, it's like, but I can give you words. I bled almost to my death.
Oh.
I have those scars to remind me for the rest of my life that this has happened to me. But when somebody does that to you and then you reach out to, because I wasn't fond of reaching out to my own family to tell them, my mother-in-law said he should. Yeah.
He should what?
And
that he should continue beating you.
that she has advised him to do that to me.
Oh, that she has advised him to beat you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she said that, and I
to your face?
On the phone.
On the phone.
And
you heard it clear, it was her voice.
It was her. It was her. And she had flipped, she had changed, and she said, I've finished her son's money. I've been spending his money and a lot of things that she didn't know. You know, between me and him, nobody cared who spent for the other. That was how we started.
He was very open with finances.
And, she stepped in, and I think I will not blame her. I blame all of them, because as human beings, and I realized now what I've accepted, I wasn't dealing with normal, you know. And because I wasn't dealing with normal, I have to do better because I have 2 boys.
So you hold your thought. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, the conversation will continue. Stay with us.
Women across Africa are yet to tell their stories. Join me, Punarimam, as I bring you women's stories where African women tell their intriguing, interesting, and authentic stories. Stay with me.
Welcome back to Women's Stories. I have been talking with my guest here, Jamila CD Sirajo. We've been talking about gender-based violence and how survivors can move on. We know that that can be very difficult, but we'll see. Jamila is here and she has been quite expressive about her experiences. Before we went on the break, you were talking about how your mother-in-law had told her son to hit you.
No, she told me that she has told him.
Okay.
Yes, and at that point, I didn't really, no matter what's going on, I was supposed to be given an opportunity to for them to come and find out what was going on. But I was never called, no, my family called. I only realized I was taken to court later on, and everything that they said, that was my offenses, reasons for my divorce after 11 years and 3 years. And nothing was adding up.
So they supported all that he has
They
been
did,
doing to you?
they did, and if the marriage can presumably, allegedly, they can say it had no issues. Then at the 99th hour, these issues began, and then the shocker was what they don't know today. I will say it on air. You know, I was such a nice person. My generosity and the way I carried people along, and made people to become very loyal to me. And that was when they began to call me to tell me this is the plan, this is what they're going to do to you, this is what and what. So I had to be cautious. But I was still going through trauma of being betrayed, the disappointment, the heartlessness, and let me be the adult, take it all in. They were minors here. Why are you trying to take everything I built with you? And you all know the truth. Why are you not asking me or calling my family? Why are you not being fair to me? So for the first time, I ran to his father's house. I knelt down and I cried my heart out with the children. And I said, this is what's going on. I've never been here before. But for the first time, I'm reporting this is what's going on with me. And I'll never forget in his voice, he looked at me and said, in Hausa, you married my son because of my money.
Oh my goodness.
You know.
To your face?
Yeah, he did. And I had to look left. It was a big house, a big living room. Look like, is he really referring to me? When I remembered what the hardship I endured with his son and what we've gone through, I have no regrets, you know. So I looked him back and I remember where I come from. Maybe it's genetic, it's in our genes. I can't be bold. I looked him in the eye and I said, do you know my dad? He said, yes, he knows my family very well. So in Hausa, I said, what my father gave me, the love, the attention, I have never seen you done that for your own children. I looked him in the eye. And,
you were bold.
and I told him, I used to sell my clothes to support your son. After all we've been through. And that was when he looked at, I walked out of the house and I never looked back. You know, you don't look at, in the north, you don't look at elders and disrespect them. But I felt I ran to my own father. And if as a daughter, I've never for once demanded for anything, I've endured the poverty, the whatever, and your son, at least you should be proud of what he's becoming. Why should you tell me that?
Because I know that in the north, there's always this belief or training that you get from home that if anything goes wrong in your marriage, don't come home. Go to your husband's family because that is your new family. So what you did was just going into your own, in your own mind, that man is also your father. So you should let him know what is going on so that he can intervene and see how things can get better. But you didn't know that you were going to get that kind of response from him. But it's okay. I also know that it's very difficult for women in the north to speak out. When you want to say something regarding your husband and what you're going through, they'll hush you. Keep quiet, don't say it. Don't disgrace your husband, don't disgrace your family. When you speak out is an offense. They will say that Kimbude Ido. That means you are too exposed. You know too much. You know.
They use the K word. You understand what I meant?
Yeah. So the thing is, that has made a lot of northern women to suffer in silence.
They are dying.
Yeah, they're not just suffering
in silence.
Suffering,
they are dying in
silence. And I feel that we can do better. Again, what pushes women to go to the court or go to the police is because the family has refused to address the issue.
Thank you.
If the family addresses the issue, then there's no point going to the police. Because to be honest, in Africa, we feel when there is gender-based violence in a family, we feel it's a family affair.
Yeah, it is.
But in the Western world, it is crime. you're committing a crime. You're hitting another human being.
Dehumanizing.
You're dehumanizing another human being. And that is why when you do that in the Western world, you pay for it dearly. You go to court. We go to jail. We've seen how in this part of the world, men who are abusive take their families abroad and they try not to hit their wives. You can't even hit your children because they know they will go to jail. There's no two ways about it. You don't negotiate that. You will go to prison. But in this part of the world, if you do that, the first thing, don't take your husband out. Don't disgrace your family. The police you're reporting to is also, he also looks at it as a family issue.
Can I use a word that was used to me? You said domestic violence, it's the officer that are carrying my first report. Domestic violence is a civil case.
It's a civil case.
That's what he told me.
Some will tell you it's a family matter. Yeah. Go home and resolve your family issues. You are there with the red, swollen eyes. They say go home and resolve. It's a family issue. But let me come back to my question. Why did you decide to speak out?
I think my silence for so long, and I looked at my kids and I don't want such for them. And if I decide to be weak at such a moment, what will happen to them? That was the main strength. I remember my son telling me, Mom, you got to stand up and fight. My son was shaking me and telling me to wake up and fight. You have to fight back, Mom. You can't give up. You can't give up. And by just those words he said to me, and I think I never looked back. I was placed inside a deep, dark tunnel.
It disturbs me because I feel that we should realize what this thing does to the children rather than ignoring the whole situation. That's why in the Western world, if they hear certain noise from a certain apartment, they come in immediately and ask questions. What's happening? And they feel that both of you are always having issues, fighting, and they feel the house is no longer healthy for the children. They take the children away. But here, nobody considers the plight of the children. Nobody cares about what these children are going through. All their concern is how they can take sides, especially for the person who has more money, the person who is more influential.
It's like in NAPTEC. I later discovered when I filed with NAPTEC, the first thing they were supposed to do, since there were allegations of hours on drugs, they were supposed to give me those drug tests.
Yes.
They were supposed to take me to meet a therapist.
Oh, because you were accused of taking drugs.
The excuse was I was on such things. Why didn't they do
a drug test?
Instantly. The moment they saw me, I was going through trauma already. I think when I filed this case, my rib was broken. My toe, I think I had to fix it myself. I told you I tried to slap once. Up to now I can't write well because of that. And this one had already been gone. And they did what they needed to do. But today, if NAPTEP is listening to me, I heard they put my name there, my false accusations. But the one question I'm asking them is, if a bench warrant has been issued, have they forgotten that court documents are public documents? The court processes will prove that whatever it is they were supposed to recall him, whatever it is, meet his office, recall him might be. 2 bench warrants were issued. One was not done right by them. The judge told them to go and do it right. Now, this same person is back in the country, I'm not, we are trying to reach an agreement and mediation and all that, but it has not favored me because I have not been compensated.
What kind of compensation were you looking for?
I was looking for compensation, protection order number 1, whereby no one will ever come attacking me, barging in. And the kind of compensation would have been good enough, own a home, take care of my children, I don't care whether you take care of them, don't take care of them, at least I earned it. You get what I mean? I cannot be traumatized, and the character assassination, every month I was in court for close to about 6 years. And you can count the court. And the trauma was much. And I had to take care of these children. I did a one-man, what do you call it, protest outside Foreign Affairs. They illegally evicted us. And how could the law that is meant to protect us victims be part of all this? FIDA was following me to court one time. And then I later heard I never filed with FIDA. Oh, yeah. But the good guys later came in from FIDA.
And supported.
You know, we have good guys and bad guys. So let's be fair. But these bad guys were all out for me. And police vice came inviting me that I fraudulently acquired stay of order of the property. So there was a stay of order. I illegally acquired, I fraudulently acquired custody of my children. But then again, it's a court case. Why are they not addressing the court? Why police vice? Now, if police decides to do all these things, I've showed you videos of me being at the station. Today they will say I was never there. No police report has been filed. And if I had not recorded, imagine how many people have been coming out in this country to say, I filed. Some enter, they will detain you, and then you come out, they say you hanged yourself. This kind of things. In short, there was a time my uncle filed. My late uncle. And Oga called me with another number, said I should meet him in a certain location where only druggers are. I didn't know at that point. He said I shouldn't come to the station, I shouldn't tell anybody. I have seen unmarked cars. And the guy that kept on, apart from my ex-husband, there was this guy that works for my father-in-law. He's political, whatever. He will come with talks, we filed against them. It's enough a shocker for us to see that nothing happened.
So now, just tell us, because of your experiences, why do you think you couldn't get justice?
Because they were in power. His father was one of the elites, and our fathers were dead, forgotten. So whatever contribution they've offered in this country, and their own side was still there, you know. And it was later I realized, my last video that went viral, I became friends. I have a pseudonym. I became friends with people online, made a family, built a family from all over. It was Igbos, Yorubas, people that had humanity inside of them. They became my family. And people will keep on asking, how was I strong enough? Those were the people that, you see, when they tell us in this country that it is the differences dividing us, no. I remember one Igbo woman held my kids, and I don't even care where they come from anymore. I'm just a Nigerian for every Nigerian. And the love they gave me and the support they gave me, I cannot thank these people enough. And they're still in my life and in that of my children. And the system failed me. The system failed all of us. And they should know. You see, this thing they are letting go of, they are building more rebels that are going to become worse than me. Yeah. But the one thing I do know is, we are so godly in this country.
Yeah, religion.
So whoever played a
But
role,
that's one of the biggest challenges that we face again, handling issues of gender-based violence. Religion, culture, society, will judge you.
why did God tell us about heaven and earth, heaven and hell? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I consoled myself. I'd rather be the victim, but I am a survivor now. But whoever had a hand, whoever played a role, whoever did what, and they know they are guilty, there is another world, Hell awaits them, in truth.
I'm happy that you could smile and
Oh.
have this conversation. Thank you so much for being part of this show, Jamila.
Thank you.
See
the Ali Surajo, see the Surajo, it's all the same.
Okay, thank you so much for being
Thank
part
you
of
so much.
Women's Stories, and we really feel honored having you around.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is all we have for you on this episode of Women's Stories. Until we come your way again on our next episode. My name is Punaraman Benjamin. Thanks for standing around. Bye.